Hi everyone, welcome to Dr. Pillai's Millionaire Yoga Talk Show. My name is Elaine, I'm also called Mohini, and I'll be your hostess today. It's so wonderful to have people joining us from all over the globe today. We've got people with us in the wee hours of Asia, and we also have people with us in our studio audience here in beautiful San Diego. So this is our first live talk show, and it's truly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to experience Dr. Pillai and his teachings and techniques in this very informal format. It'll be interactive as well. And we've also got special guests who will share about their incredible life changes. And all of this is happening on a very special day. According to Vedic astrology, we're in a span of time that gives money miracles. And today itself is a doubly powerful wealth energy day. So today is the perfect day for Dr. Pillai to share an introductory training on Millionaire Yoga. It's a process that he's created to put money back in the hands of spiritual people. Today, Dr. Pillai will teach you key principles and techniques based on his in-depth study of the neurology of a millionaire, and most importantly, how you can create the neurology of a millionaire. So the training today will give you the perfect foundation to obtain powerful results from his comprehensive 45-day Millionaire Yoga program that we're launching today. So right now, I'd like to invite Dr. Pillai to join us. For those of you who haven't met Dr. Pillai yet, he's a spiritual teacher, educator, entrepreneur, and philanthropist. He's also an international speaker and global thought leader who is committed to helping create a global shift of consciousness for peace, love, and prosperity for all. Welcome, Dr. Pillai. It's an honor to have you with us on the show today. So can you please share with us the first two principles in the Millionaire Yoga process, activating your money neurology centers and resetting your money frequency?
Before I start, I just want to share with you what happened while I was driving to the studio. There was a student of mine who was driving me up to here, and then she asked me a question. Are you excited about it, the program? Is that what you really want to do? And I said yes and no. No, more no than yes. Why? Because I want to do things very effectively. I would be in a position to do miracles, create money right away rather than teaching it how to make money. That really is what I want to do. Miracle, doing miracles. It is out of the domain of science and technology and our contemporary thinking to create money out of nothing. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. But we are moving very slowly. For instance, I will give you an example. When the telephone was introduced, we had two pieces, one to speak with and another to hear with. And we were so stupid at that time that it could be linked. And then they linked the phone. Then there were, we came to sophisticated telephone systems. And then now we have cell phone. Everybody has cell phone. But then is that the end of it? No, it's not the end of it. What about telepathy? But we cannot relate to it because we don't have the technology for it. So what I really want to do, people, is to give money right away to people through miracles. Not only me doing miracles, but also enabling everyone to do miracles. And that is possible. Because it is a matter of using your brain. And that's all it is about. Miracle makers use different parts of the brain. That's what I'm going to come to. That's why I said to her, no, this is not what I don't want to do because it's going to take too much time. But still, yes, because that's all what we have. We are handicapped. We have to move slowly. That's why I have to teach techniques to manifest money. And I should share with you how I started out. This is not how I started out when I began to teach. Of course, I was trained in the university, I had a PhD, and presented papers in conferences and so forth. But I felt myself phony, so I left the university, left teaching, and then I became, I'm going to show you my picture, and most of you are familiar with me in those days. This is the me, just walking out of the Himalayas. This picture was taken in 2000. And at the same time, I decided to change my look. And this is it. So what is my real identity? My real identity is this: a yogi, but in Western clothes, or maybe the Chinese style clothes. Why that is greater? Because that can do things better. I just wanted to be available to an audience that would not judge me for being a guru. So I just wanted to switch my model and then began to teach. I will give you another example. And I was invited by the president of a research institute. He was fascinated by my teachings. And then just before dinner, he went in and then checked out my websites. And then they saw, and he happened to see my statue drinking milk. Oh my God, I wanted to cancel the meeting with this guy. He is cultic. And he shared it with me during the conversation. And I told him, everything is cultic. Even science is a cult. But it has wide acceptance. And that's what it is. But then he advised me, because he was my well-wisher, don't you think that you have to use the media that is more acceptable, and that is science and technology? So I became more convinced about his recommendations, so that I changed to a model of presenting it in a scientific way. But I am never phony. So I am at a point where I seem to agree more with Einstein, the greatest scientist ever lived on the earth plane. Einstein once wrote a letter to his friend about science and religion. He said, religion without science is blind, and science without religion is lame. And that idea went deep into my heart. That's exactly the right thing. So we have to merge the two. Then we can bring a methodology, a module that will be useful for all of us. So that is my methodological orientation. All my presentations today are going to be geared to that, to incorporate science into metaphysics, the science of miracles. Now, and that takes care of my initial introduction. Now the program is Millionaire Yoga. Now the question comes, most people are not millionaires. Now we all know this Wall Street movement, Occupy the Wall Street. 99% of the people are not controlling the Wall Street. Only 1% of the people are controlling it. Now, what's the way out? It's not just by going and demonstrating before the Wall Street. We can find a solution to that. Does anyone have a solution for this? No one. The politicians don't have a solution for it. Democrats or Republicans, they don't have a solution for it. The economists, they don't have a solution. Then who has a solution? The individual has the solution. Every individual has the potential. And every individual, if he makes up his mind, or if he tunes his brain, because mind is a very vague term. But when I talk in terms of brain, which I will come to in a moment, we are more concrete. Then it is possible that 99% of the people can get wealthy. And that's where we are heading towards. And that's where it is closest to my heart. If everybody becomes wealthy, then we can create a golden age. And that is the purpose of Millionaires Yoga. Now, having said that, I want to be more concrete and then give you a scientific presentation of what a Millionaires Yoga is. Millionaires Yoga is developing a millionaire's brain. Is a millionaire's brain different from a poor man's brain? Yes. Absolutely. The millionaire's brain is in a field of all possibilities. He can do things very quickly. There are no obstacles. First in the mind, then that translates itself into three-dimensional reality. But a poor man's mind is more caught up in negative thinking. So let me be precise of what I am saying. I have brought a brain model here to show you this. This is a giant brain. This is not human brain, but I ordered this because it's easy to work with. This is called the cortex. Okay. And see how big it is. It's so huge. This brain was developed at a later time. Okay. There is the frontal lobe, the parietal lobe, and then the occipital lobe. And all these cortex area got developed during our evolution. I don't know if it is purely evolution, it may be involution too. So it's good and bad, more bad than good. Now look at this part of the brain, the midbrain. It's called the midbrain. This area in the middle, it's called the midbrain. The midbrain is the millionaire's brain. So this is very precise, I think. And this big brain, the cortex, is the poor man's brain. So it's caught up in logic. So all that we need is only this small little brain. I'm trying to take it off and show it to you. Not coming out. But anyway, you can see here, this is the area which is called the midbrain. The midbrain can think whatever it wants to do, and it is not negative. So to repeat what I said, a millionaire's brain is the midbrain. The poor man's brain is the cortex, where particularly the forebrain, the frontal lobe. So all that we need to do is to develop the midbrain area. Once we are able to develop the midbrain area, then there are no obstacle whatsoever. Now I am talking in very concrete terms. Now I was just reading a book. I'll be showing it in later sessions during this webcast. There is a scientist who is working with students, and he is working with poor students versus students from rich family. And the students coming from the poor family have a different brain. It is scientific data, and he is involved in curriculum development. He says all the parts of the brain of a poor student works poorly. And with the students coming from the wealthy families, they perform well. So it is very important, and I'm very happy that I'm doing that. So fundamentally what we need to do is to make everybody wealthy, if possible, a millionaire. And that is possible. How? By activating the midbrain. The midbrain is not active at all. The midbrain specializes in miracles. It's otherwise called a psychic brain. Who has done a lot of work on this and then demonstrated to the world about the midbrain and what miracles it can do? It is a channel called Ramtha. A lot of scientists have studied her brain, and also the people whom she trained. And you can, after some period of training, you can blindfold yourself and walk your way to your home. How? The midbrain is active. That is not available. Go to the YouTube and find out. So why are we not developing it? Because up until now, we have not been exposed to that. That is the problem. We have not identified the treasure that is lying deep within us. If the midbrain is active, then we can do everything we want to do. Because the midbrain can shift dimensions, shift time, space and time will shift if we go to the midbrain. But are we paying any attention to that? No. We are paying attention only to the cortex, to logic, to science and technology. How long it is going to take? Forever. But the yogis knew right from the beginning that the strength lies in the midbrain, particularly in the small area called the pineal gland, which is just 5 millimeters. Just a very tiny little thing that can do wonders. The yogis called it the third eye. Now scientists are coming and saying the yogis are after all right, because this little organ, the pineal gland, looks like an eye. It has a cornea. It has a retina. Every part that an eye has, this little part has it. So what is the wisdom of the people who knew, when surgery was not available at that time, to call the pineal gland as the third eye? So we have to activate that. And it has been dormant, calcified. We have not paid any attention to that. Now let me take you through a very controversial personality, but one who I have great respect for, is Osho. Osho lived in this country. And Osho had 95 Rolls Royces. And none of them he bought. They were all donated to him, and all of them were custom made. And he was a master teacher. And one day he was talking about the third eye, or the pineal gland. At that time he was not aware of science. He wouldn't go into science a lot. He said that I'm going to talk to you from a yogic perspective, and that perspective is, if a thought goes into the third eye, then that manifests in three-dimensional reality. So that's what exactly he did. How did he get all the 95 or 99 Rolls Royces? He thought about it, and then it came. The world press came and met with him. They asked him, you come from a poor country, and you have 99 Rolls Royces. Does it bother you? He said, no. Soon I am going to have 365 Rolls Royces. Even then it will not bother me. I'm not concerned about the ethics of it. Ethics is a different subject. I don't want to get into it. I am only concerned here the dynamics, the science behind it, the super science, if you will, of just manifesting with ease. And that is the yogic model. Now let us look at our own conditionings. So we want to buy a Toyota Corolla or even a cheaper car than that. We are so negative because of the cortex, the neocortex. Well, I don't have a good job. They may not even give me a mortgage car loan. So I have to settle for an used car. And who decides that? It is you. Because you are guided by, are conditioned by consensus, which comes from the neocortex. And that is the problem. The problem is that we are operating from this conditioned brain, this cortex, which is the chunk of the brain that we have. But if you go into the midbrain, it works like the infrared. The infrared is a miracle. You want to open your TV, you just open your TV from here. Or you open your car, you do it from here. It's all infrared. Now this midbrain can work with infrared. That is how it is able to manifest things. So we have hope finally that by training the brain, I don't even want to use the word mind because that's a very vague term. But when we talk about brain, it's more concrete because each part in the brain is function specific. Whether it is the frontal lobe or the parietal lobe or the occipital lobe or the temporal lobe, they are specific, of course, dominantly. They process other things too. But they are specific, function specific, just as the pineal gland is. And this is what we have to know. If I have the ability to put the money into education, I would give this education a top priority. And then help people to develop their pineal gland. I want you to go to the Google or YouTube search and see pineal gland, David Wilcox. He talks a lot about the pineal gland and also the historic background or the background from the yogic tradition also of the pineal gland, which is the third eye. So that is the first step that we have to know. So here what I am doing I am following my own model, merging science and religion, or science and spirituality, because religion is a more controversial term. Now having said that, and I don't want to stop you with just giving you a theoretical framework, I just want to give you a practical approach, a practice, if you will. Now, where is the third eye? The third eye is simply not the pineal gland. It is the pineal gland is the equivalent of the third eye within the physical body. The third eye is in the subtle body. Now, we cannot see the subtle body because we don't have the ability to do so. But every part of the subtle body has its correlate in the physical body. So the third eye is linked to the pineal gland. Now, it's very interesting. in the usual representation, they put the third eye in between the two eyebrows somewhere here. And if you put a rod through this spot, it will go and directly hit the pineal gland. And how did they know it? They knew it not through any surgical process, but through intuition. Just as I said, there is no need for our eyes to go home, provided if our midbrain is fully active, and it will take us wherever we want to go. So the first practice that I'm going to teach you, and I'm very happy to do that. Forget about the philosophical garbage. Philosophy is never going to bake bread. Okay, you can go and read and read and read and read and read. That's why I said, am I interested in doing this course? I said no, because it is time consuming. Because all the time that we have, we should able to focus on practice and meditation. So I'm going to teach you now how to do that. Now close your eyes. Don't worry about thoughts coming in, let them come and go. Thoughts are your guests. They check in and check out. You are the host. So don't identify yourself with thoughts. Just put your attention in between the two eyebrows. When you put your attention in between the eyebrows, it will directly go and hit your pineal gland. And it will help you to secrete dimethyltryptamine, DMT. You don't have to worry about all that. Just focus on the third eye that is in between the two eyebrows. So what is happening as you do this practice, your pineal gland in the physical body and the third eye in the subtle body are simultaneously activated. There, if you see a Rolls Royce, that Rolls Royce will manifest. How? It uses the principle called the idea and the object. The idea is unidimensional. The object is three-dimensional. One cannot exist without the other. In Sanskrit, they say that name and form are linked together in a mysterious way. Who has the secret? Not the humans, but the divine beings. Angels have secrets. Name and form, they are one and the same. So as you begin to see the Rolls Royce in your third eye, you have planted the seed. Soon you are going to see that in three-dimensional reality. That is as simple as this. So now look at this model and contrast with the model you have in which Rolls Royce is completely inconceivable. given the state that you have no money, you have no good job or no resources. So forget about all that. Just put your attention on the third eye and then see the Rolls Royce. You can do whatever you want to do. It's not necessarily Rolls Royce. It's not your priority. Maybe you have a very humble priority, maybe like a Toyota Corolla or a small house, a townhouse, or whatever you want to do. Go touch and feel and hug the Rolls Royce or whatever you have put in your mind. This is what the yogis do. The yogis, when they want to manifest, they don't go get a job or get a business. They just want to manifest just by thinking. It's called the Siddha Sankalpa in Sanskrit. The moment you think, and it is manifested. It's called thought manifestation in English. Siddha Sankalpa is Sanskrit. Thought manifestation. You manifest your thought. And how soon? It depends upon how hard you work on this project. Now, relax. And slowly, slowly come back to yourself. I want to tell you a real story. There was a cameraman who was working on me, and he was filming me, and I was teaching a manifestation technique like this. And I hired him for doing a video. Then he called me a week later and then said, while I was filming you, I put the idea of manifesting a house. And I called you to say that I have been able to get this multi-million-dollar home. So I want to offer you this service to me. Whenever you want a video recording, and I will come and do it for free. Because this is something which just came out of the blue. Because I tried many times, and then there were so many negative thoughts coming in, and I could never manifest it. And here it is, in 1 week's time I was able to manifest a multi-million-dollar home. And that he attributed to this. This really works. Now, what you need to do is to reset your money frequencies. Now, the moment I say, you should become a millionaire, then the question comes, can everybody become a millionaire? I'll give you a real life story. We were all together 2 days ago in an Italian restaurant. And then we were talking about the 99% of people becoming all wealthy, and that is my goal. And this waitress overheard our conversation. And then she just came and then asked us, money is not everything, she said. And the moment I heard this observation from her, and I told her, look, why do you say this? Don't you need money? Then where does this thought come from? So deep down, we have a conditioning. That is true for every culture, every tradition has an antipathy, a negative attitude towards money. They put God on one side and money on the other side, as if God is inimical to money. But I tell you, money is not evil. Then what is evil? Lack of money is evil. We have to completely reorient ourselves to a new philosophy. Then only the 99% of the people can control the White House or the Wall Street. And look at the race in the White House. What's happening? Everybody at least needs $1 billion to run for election. If you don't have the money, you don't win. That's as simple as that. Although we are very phony in our attitude towards money, and that has to stop. God simply doesn't care whether you drive a Mercedes-Benz or a Rolls-Royce or a Toyota Corolla, or you borrow the car from your mother or walk to wherever you want to go or take a bus. It's not His business. Don't link God to any of this. That is your mind saying positive things or negative things towards money. So you have to really reset that mind. And how do you do it? As I said, I don't like to use the word mind. I have no other way but to use it. But to be precise, you have to use the midbrain. You have to use the infrared frequencies. You know the infrared can do miracles. That's what I said, that I am more interested in miracles rather than wait forever. Time is an illusion. This is what Einstein said. I know that past, present, and future are illusions. But the problem is, that is what I see. And he called it as persistent illusion. This is his own words. I know I have equations for that. I can mathematically prove it, but I cannot prove it in real life. Einstein was, in his previous birth, Bogar, a Siddha in southern India. And the Siddhas, it is not a matter of equation. Time is an illusion is not a matter of equation. It is a matter of real life. They can close their eyes and then go into a different dimension where space changes, time changes, because space and time are continuum. And we didn't know that until Einstein. Newton didn't know about that. He thought that there were absolute categories, time and space. So everything changes once you know how to work with your midbrain, the pineal gland. So what you need to do is reset your brain. And that is very important. Reset your brain. I'm not using the word mindset because all the psychologists, behavioralists, they use the word mindset. I don't know what that means. We can go on saying that affirmation. Not that they don't work, but they are not as good as going into the midbrain and trying to understand the infrared. That is more tangible. That's what we have to do. So we have to go to the midbrain. We have to go to the pineal gland and activate that. Now, can everybody become a millionaire? That's a question that everybody wants to ask. Honestly speaking, most people will have problem with that. I will come back to this in my subsequent presentations. Why do they do it? When I talk about desire down the road. But now I have to confine myself to the midbrain and then the pineal gland, activating that, and I gave you a technique. Now we are talking about the mind frequencies, the brain frequencies, and they can be changed. Now the latest theory in quantum physics is the string theory. String theory. What is the string theory? The string theory says that you cannot really stop analyzing your the finest particles like the fermions, bosons, and muons as the ultimate particles. We are going to find particles which are finer than that. So you have to really go beyond that and understand something beyond the finest particles. What is that? They are vibrations. They are vibrations. That is what the string theory says. That's why it's called the string theory. When you strike a guitar, the vibrations start. And that is the theory that everybody thinks has a lot of hope to explain our origins, how matter is formed. The yogis knew it. They knew about the frequencies. They knew how you can change the frequencies through vibrations. And what is that vibration? Sound vibrations. And what is that? A mantra. A mantra is nothing but a sound vibration. And as you begin to use the vibration, then the whole body, mind, and the soul vibrate with it. There is one sound that I want to give it to you. That will change your poverty vibrations. Poverty is also a vibration, just as prosperity is a vibration. But unfortunately, because of our conditioning, we have only inherited the poverty vibrations. And this is true of people living in even the wealthiest countries. Even in the wealthiest countries, as we know, not everybody is wealthy. Even the Occupy the Wall Street movement is only done here in the United States, we're the wealthiest country in the world. How many people are wealthy? Very few. So we need all of that knowledge to change the frequency of our brain. How do we do that? I'm going to teach you now. Close your eyes. Feel the entire brain. The neocortex, the big chunk of the brain, the top of the brain. The frontal lobe, the parietal lobe that follows it. Then the occipital lobe, which is at the back of the brain. And then the sides of the brain is called the temporal lobe. Over the years. Feel the entire brain. And remember the midbrain also that I showed you, that is right in the middle of the two hemispheres. And I'm going to give this vibration to you. Shreem. S-H-R-E-E-M. Shreem. 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 Fill the entire brain with the sound shreem. Shreem, 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 shreem. We go on doing that, then the frequency will change from poverty, from mediocrity to prosperity and abundance. That's the secret. This is the yogic secret. Shreem, 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 shreem. I can talk for hours together on how shreem works, how the sibilant shh can affect your brain and what it means, but all that is not necessary. What is necessary is just use the sound. Now, relax and come back to yourself. Okay, these are the first two meditations that I wanted to introduce you. The first one on the third eye, in order to manifest, put your things in the third eye and manifest. And the second one is changing the frequency of the brain. There are more to come when I will reveal more secrets to you. So as I said, my goal in life that gives me meaning for my existence is that everybody can be abundant. The 99% of the people can really occupy the White House. When that is heaven on earth, that is totally heaven on earth. So we have to do it on a practical level. And these techniques are practical. I have used them, and I have given to people who have used them, who have been benefited by it. I have tested them, so they do work. Okay. Again, I will come back to you with more teachings during this session. I'm very happy to do this, and I feel very fulfilled today to do this program where globally people are being benefited. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Pillai. It's fantastic to have this first experience of the Millionaire mind, and I don't know about the rest of you, but I felt like I was elevating above the set. So thank you, and we look forward to your next appearance on the show.
Okay.